Alright, just finished writing this in point-slope form, and now I'm going to write this in slope-intercept form. In order to do that, again, I'm going to have to distribute. So I'm going to have y minus 4 equals 1/2 x plus 1/2 times 3 is 3/2. And then the last thing I'll do here is I'll add 4 to both sides. Well, when I'm adding 4, I'm actually adding 3/2 plus 8/2. That would be my common denominator. So what 3/2 plus 8/2 actually gives me is 3 plus 8 is 11/2. Alright, the new part to these next problems is that I'm now going to finish in standard form. So I'm going to be doing 3 different forms. I'm going to write it in point-slope form, then I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form, and then I'm going to finish it up in standard form. So each time I'm still going to be finding the slope. x1, y1, and x2, y2, and we'll go and we'll find the slope by doing our y2 minus our y1, negative 6 minus 6 over x2 minus x1, 3 minus negative 3. This gives me a negative 12 over a positive 6, which is a negative 2. So writing this in point-slope form, I'm going to go ahead, let's just use this point right here. I'll say y minus my y-coordinate, which is 6, equals negative 2 times x minus my x-coordinate, which is negative 3. Now, we're not going to leave our signs minus, minus, so we're going to change it to plus the opposite. And then to clean this up a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and erase that one plus sign. Continuing on then, we would distribute. We can write it in slope-intercept form. This will give me y minus 6 equals negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then what I'm going to do is add 6 to both sides. So y equals negative 2x. That's the only thing I need to write for slope-intercept form. Last one, I'm going to finish with the standard form today. Standard form is ax plus by, so I need to move the x back to this side here. And what that gives me is a 2x plus y equals 0. This is a fine form to leave standard form into because it has no fractions and the x is positive. The next example is the same thing over and over, but I want to keep doing them. So please feel free to just try the entire problem on your own and then check the answer. So feel free to pause at any point in time. So I'm going to get the slope is 2 minus negative 6 over, and I should have marked these x, y, first coordinate, second coordinate, y minus y over x minus x. So what I end up getting is plus the opposite, I end up with 8 over negative 8, which is negative 1. So I'm going to take this point right here, and I'm going to write it into point-slope form. So I'm going to do y minus my y-coordinate, which equals my slope, negative 1, x minus 3. Now I want to clean this up just a little bit. I'm going to make it say y plus 6 equals, you don't have to put a negative 1. You could actually just write a negative x minus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and circle this as my final answer here. Either one of these is correct, so make sure that you know that. Either one is correct. To do slope-intercept form, I would distribute my negative through. So I'd get y plus 6 equals negative x. That would be a plus 3 because the negative times the negative is a positive. And then I would subtract 6 on both sides, and I'd get y equals negative x plus negative 3. And I'd be finished. One more form, standard form. Standard form, I need to move this x to the other side, so I'll do that by adding x to both sides. That gives me just x plus y equals negative 3. This is fine form to leave it in because there's no fractions. On the x, there's no fractions at all. The x term is positive. I have one more example, and I'll finish that up on the next video.